Hello, I'm Leslie Wilcox. This is one in a series of clips about how organisations are adopting service automation, their experiences and their lessons. This one is about the unlikely case of innogySE adopting RPA. The reason that we say it's unlikely is because, generally speaking, RPA is said to be most appropriate for highly standardized processes, for high volume transactions with low complexity. And that was true of one part of the company we're going to talk about, which was formerly called npower. We wrote about this in our first book, npower, as a whole case study of how the retail side of the energy company actually used RPA very successfully, and indeed automated 35% of its back office by 2018. In this case, we're looking at the business-to-business side of innogySE, so named in 2016, a business solutions side. Now this has the opposite characteristics of us and is very unattractive for RPA in principle. Nevertheless, they have adopted it very effectively. So the sorts of characteristics of this business is they have a lot fewer customers than the retail side, and they have very low volumes, they have low standardization, lots of regulation, very fragmented systems, and with almost no outsourcing. So how does RPA apply here? Well, on this slide that we'll show you, you can see a number of things. The first thing that you will notice is that there are about 650 different processes that are operational in this company, and they use 350 people in these processes. But if you look at it, you can see that some of these processes are actually quite small in terms of the number of people that they use and in terms of volumes that are utilized. So how can you start using RPA? How far down can you use the RPA in these processes until it ceases to be economically effective? Surprisingly a long way, in fact. You can use these on quite small processes and quite complex processes and still get multiple benefits. So to show this, we've written up this case of innogySE, which is in chapter 2 of our book, Robotic Process and Cognitive Automation, the Next Phase. And they started using RPA around about April 2015. And the reason they started using it is because their retail side in npower had been using it very successfully, and they thought belatedly maybe we could employ this process tool. And give you some examples of usage. I think one of the interesting examples in the book is how they used it when a new regulation came on board, where they had to provide customers with contract end date and renewal details on their invoices. A new regulation had to be introduced, acted upon, and if you didn't act on it by a certain date, it would be a £2 million fine. So RPA was seen to be a good way of resolving this dilemma. So they used RPA to automate adding things onto the invoice and managed to achieve that, and got the transaction time down from 20 minutes to 21 seconds for 20,000 customers. This saved them using 21 additional agency staff in order to meet the regulatory requirement. So a very big saving there. And this encouraged innogySE, B2B side, business solutions, to actually adopt more robots. And in the end, that year, the first year, they adopted 10 robots for automating 17 processes. 3 of them were regulatory, 5 were in pricing and contracts, 7 invoicing and cash, and 2 were reporting and scheduling. What's interesting is that they were getting multiple business benefits. They saved that year, first year, 40 FTEs, full-time equivalents. They reduced process time by 60%, and an overall increase in productivity in the whole of the services operation amounted to some 8%. So you can see that despite it being supposedly an unattractive area in which to use RPA, innogySE was getting multiple business benefits. An interesting case study for us in our own learning process as to how far you can go with RPA.